Relationships can often feel like solving a complex puzzle, especially when it comes to understanding the different ways attraction is expressed and interpreted. Attraction is a natural and powerful force, but how it manifests can vary greatly between individuals. One of the most intricate aspects of this dynamic is the subtle way women often communicate their interest. Unlike men, who may express attraction more directly, many women rely on subtle non-verbal cues and body language to share their feelings. These subtle signals aren't about a lack of interest or uncertainty. Instead, they often reflect centuries of cultural and societal norms that have encouraged women to be more reserved when expressing romantic interest. Even though women experience desire and attraction just as intensely as men, their expression of these feelings tends to be more discreet, delicate, and nuanced. But why is this the case? How do these behaviors develop, and how can you learn to recognize them to build stronger, more meaningful relationships? Understanding the reasons behind these subtle signals is key to interpreting them accurately. Women may express interest in various ways for emotional, societal, or even personal reasons. Learning to recognize these signals can provide deeper insights into how attraction works. Before we dive into specific signs and ways women express interest, it's essential to look back at history. These behaviors didn't appear overnight. They've been shaped by centuries of cultural expectations, historical influences, and emotional factors that still play a role today. Take a moment to reflect. Have you ever been in a situation where you couldn't tell if someone was interested in you? Maybe you've been talking to someone for a while and started wondering, is she interested or is she just being friendly? It's possible that you missed subtle signs without even realizing it. Today, we'll explore these signs, examine the reasons behind them, and help you interpret them so you can build stronger and more meaningful connections. Your support is essential to us. Subscribe and be part of this journey to better understand attraction and relationships. Historical and emotional context. To truly grasp the subtle ways women express attraction, we need to step back and examine the historical and cultural influences that have shaped these behaviors over centuries. Throughout history, the roles of men and women have been vastly different, profoundly impacting how both genders approach relationships and express romantic interest. Historically, women were often encouraged to be modest and reserved, especially in matters of attraction. For instance, during the Victorian era, women were expected to avoid overt displays of affection or desire. These expectations were closely tied to societal values about modesty and a woman's reputation. Expressing interest too openly could lead to harsh judgments from society or even damage one's reputation. For many women of past generations, modesty wasn't merely encouraged, it was required. Any boldness in romantic pursuits was often seen as inappropriate or even scandalous. This focus on reputation deeply influenced how women behaved across cultures and time periods. For instance, in many parts of the world, whether in Europe, Asia, or the Middle East, similar expectations were prevalent. Women were taught to carefully navigate relationships, showing just enough interest to be seen as desirable without risking societal judgment. Although society has progressed in many ways, these historical expectations haven't entirely disappeared. Remnants of these norms still linger today, especially in more conservative cultures. Some women may feel that expressing romantic interest too directly could lead to being misunderstood or labeled. As a result, they often rely on subtle, non-verbal cues to communicate their attraction. These behaviors have become woven into the fabric of modern dating culture, subtly shaping how women approach relationships. Examining how these expectations vary across cultures and time periods, such as contrasting more open societies with those that remain conservative, provides insight into how global and historical influences have shaped present-day expressions of attraction. Emotional dynamics and attraction. In addition to historical factors, emotional dynamics play a crucial role in how women express attraction. For many women, an emotional connection is a foundational part of romantic interest. While physical attraction is important, it may not be the main priority in the early stages of a relationship. Instead, many women prefer to build a foundation of trust and emotional intimacy before openly expressing their feelings. This approach allows them to create a safe space where they feel comfortable revealing their attraction. To illustrate this, imagine a woman who is interested in someone. Although she might feel an initial attraction, she may hesitate to express it physically until she feels a deeper emotional connection. This doesn't mean she isn't interested. Rather, she seeks a connection that goes beyond surface-level attraction and reaches into the emotional core of a potential relationship. Subtle signs of attraction. So what are these subtle signs of attraction? One of the most common indicators is physical touch. Physical touch can be a powerful signal of interest, but it's often expressed through subtle gestures. These touches are usually not random or accidental. Instead, they're deliberate and aimed at testing the waters and gauging your reaction. For instance, during a conversation, a woman might lightly touch your arm or shoulder when laughing at your joke or making a point. These small, purposeful gestures are ways of establishing a sense of closeness without crossing boundaries. To distinguish between a friendly touch and one that signals romantic interest, consider both the context and the frequency. If she repeatedly finds excuses to touch you, perhaps brushing against you as she walks by, playfully nudging you or placing her hand on your back, it likely shows she's comfortable with you and may be attracted. Imagine you're at a cafe together. At first, she might lightly tap your arm as she makes a point. Later in the conversation, she might rest her hand on your shoulder while leaning in to talk. These small, gradual touches often reveal a growing interest and an increasing comfort level, serving as indicators of attraction that go beyond mere friendliness. Even if they seem innocent at first, these gestures of interest can hold a deeper meaning. Body language is another significant indicator of attraction. Women often communicate their interest through the way they position themselves around you. A woman who's attracted to you might lean in closer during conversation, turn her body towards you, or even mirror your movements. Pay close attention to her posture. If her arms are relaxed and open, and she's facing you directly, it's a sign that she feels comfortable and connected. Eye contact as a signal of attraction. Eye contact is another powerful tool that women use to communicate attraction. If she holds your gaze for longer than usual or makes frequent eye contact, she's likely trying to establish a connection. This signal becomes even more apparent when paired with a smile or laughter. The combination of eye contact and smiling is one of the most obvious signs of interest. She's engaging with you both emotionally and physically, showing that she enjoys your company. There are different types of eye contact, each conveying a unique level of attraction. For instance, fleeting glances, those quick looks she gives you across the room, can indicate interest, especially if she looks away when you catch her. This type of glance often suggests that she's interested, but might still feel a bit shy or uncertain. On the other hand, prolonged eye contact, where she holds your gaze while smiling, is a clear sign that she's comfortable and fully engaged in the interaction. This type of eye contact shows a deeper level of attraction and a genuine desire to connect. Changes in voice and personal space. In addition to touch and body language, changes in a woman's voice can be a strong indicator of attraction. When a woman is interested in someone, her voice may soften, becoming more intimate or gentle during conversations. This change is often subconscious, signaling her comfort with you and her desire to create a more personal atmosphere. You may also notice her voice becoming more playful or teasing as the conversation progresses, which is another clear sign of attraction. To elaborate with examples, she might laugh softly at your jokes, even if they aren't particularly funny, or lower her voice when discussing something personal. This vocal shift suggests that she's letting down her guard, inviting you closer on an emotional level. You might also notice her voice becoming more animated when she's excited to share something with you. This excitement signals her genuine interest in deepening the connection. Another major sign of attraction is when a woman invites you into her personal space. Personal space is usually quite sacred, and when a woman allows you to enter hers, it's a strong indicator of trust and interest. This doesn't necessarily mean that physical intimacy is on the table immediately. Rather, it's about her feeling comfortable enough to spend time with you in a more private or personal setting. Putting in extra effort in appearance. While some women naturally enjoy dressing up, you might notice that she's putting in particular effort in her appearance when she knows she'll be seeing you. This doesn't have to be extravagant, but small changes like wearing a special accessory, putting on a hint of perfume, or paying extra attention to her hair can signal her interest. She's subtly indicating that she wants to make a good impression, hoping you'll notice and appreciate the effort. When a woman pays extra attention to how she looks around you, it's often a subtle way of signaling that she wants to catch your eye. This effort can manifest in various ways. She might choose an outfit that flatters her figure, apply a bit more makeup than usual, or style her hair in a way she knows looks great. These small changes may seem simple, but they're often deliberate choices aimed at making a positive impression. By putting extra thought into her appearance, she's subtly showing that she values your attention. For example, she might wear a dress that highlights her best features or choose her favorite perfume, knowing it leaves a memorable impression. Even subtle touches like adding a new accessory or spending extra time styling her hair can be her way of considering how you'll perceive her. This attention to detail isn't just about vanity. It's a reflection of her desire to feel attractive in your presence. Responding to signals of attraction. Now that you're aware of these signs of attraction, the next step is knowing how to respond. The key here is to be mindful and attentive without being too forward. The best way to respond is by mirroring her behavior in subtle ways. If she's leaning in or lightly touching your arm, you can gently reciprocate by leaning closer or placing your hand on hers. These small reflective actions create a sense of harmony and show that you're on the same page. It's also important to engage emotionally. If she opens up about her thoughts, feelings, or personal experiences, make sure you're actively listening. Nod, maintain eye contact, and respond thoughtfully to show that you value what she's sharing. Sharing your own experiences and being a little vulnerable yourself can help build emotional intimacy. Don't hesitate to open up. This level of emotional connection often forms the foundation of a stronger, lasting relationship. Tips for responding to different signals. Here are some specific tips for responding to different types of signals. If she's engaging you with light touches, return the gesture respectfully and gently. If she's sharing personal stories, reciprocate by sharing something meaningful about yourself, building trust and emotional rapport. These actions show that you're both attentive and interested in deepening the connection. Avoiding miscommunication. Miscommunication is a common challenge in relationships, especially in the early stages when attraction is often expressed through subtle signals. It's easy to misinterpret cues or second-guess yourself. If you're ever unsure about her level of interest, the best approach is to ask for clarity in a respectful, non-confrontational way. Simply expressing your feelings and asking for her thoughts can clear up any confusion and strengthen your bond. You might say something like, "I really enjoy spending time with you, and I'd love to know how you feel about where things are going." This opens the door for honest communication without putting too much pressure on the situation. By initiating this conversation, you're showing her that you respect her feelings and are interested in building a relationship based on mutual understanding. Approach the conversation confidently and respectfully. Remember, it's always better to clarify than to make assumptions about someone's feelings. Conclusion. In conclusion, attraction is a complex experience that goes far beyond words or overt gestures. Women often express their interest through subtle cues, such as physical touch, body language, changes in voice, and the attention they put into their appearance. Learning to recognize these signals can help you develop deeper, more meaningful connections. Attraction is not just about physical appeal or romantic gestures. It's about emotional connection, trust, and mutual understanding. By being attentive, respectful, and emotionally available, you'll be better equipped to navigate the complexities of attraction. Remember, relationships thrive on open communication, trust, and the ability to read and respond to each other's signals with care and empathy. Thank you for joining me today in exploring these subtle yet powerful signs of attraction. I hope this discussion has given you valuable insights into how attraction works and how you can build stronger connections with the people in your life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below with your thoughts. I'd love to hear about your experiences. What subtle signs have you noticed in your relationships? Let's continue this conversation and learn from each other. Until next time, take care and keep building those meaningful connections.